Hello, welcome to Cleekly. Today we'll introduce two basic object types in Cleekly, decoration and destructible. First, let's look at an interesting desert maze. In today's video, we will reproduce this desert maze together. It will include 4 parts. Number 1, place decorations. Number 2, edit decoration attributes. Number 3, place destructibles. And number 4, edit destructible attributes. First, let's draw the maze's terrain and place some decorations. Open Cleekly. Let's first draw a terrain for the maze area. Use different topography to outline its prototype. You can see the Decoration tab in Object Palette on the right side of the interface. In Decorations, we have all decoration models that are in Resource Manager listed under Resources and all built-in models listed under Components. What are decorations? Decorations are objects that adorn the scene, such as plants, buildings, rocks, etc. The operation of placing decorations is the same as the units. Click the left mouse button to select the decoration you want. Move the mouse to the map interface, and click the left mouse button again to place it on the map. The same decoration can be placed repeatedly by clicking on the map interface continuously. If you want to place a large number, you can long press the left mouse button and drag. Select the decoration with the left mouse button. The status bar will appear. The operations are almost the same as the units, but there are still some subtle differences. In addition to moving along X and Y axes, we can also move the decoration along Z axis to make it above the ground or embedded in the ground. Select Rotate. We can drag the arcs to rotate the decoration along all axes. Drag to select multiple decorations. We can use the Group button to group all the decorations we selected and create a new composite decoration. We can name this new decoration and confirm to finish. We can also go to Object Editor to edit detailed information of it. In Attached Model List, we can see that we combined 5 models to create this composite decoration. We can delete or change the model, scale, material of each attached model. Now, this composite decoration is equivalent to one separate custom decoration. We can move, rotate, or scale it as a whole. We can also reuse this composite decoration by Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, or select it under Custom in tab Decorations and place it. When selecting the decoration, we can also see a ground button on the upper right of the game scene. Click this button. When moving the decoration will automatically adjust higher or lower according to the terrain. The desert maze is basically built with topography, walls, and pillars. Select the appropriate models, properly rotate the angles, and the maze is almost done. Select Decoration. We can also place some trees to dot the maze. In Presets below the decoration list, tick Random Brush Size and Random Angle. We can place trees at random sizes and angles. In this way, our scene will be more realistic. After all, nature itself is random. We can also change the brush type to regions. Choose the appropriate shape, brush size, and placement density. We can place decorations in batches. There is another way to place the decorations. In Object Palette, turn on Random Decorations. Click to add a new random list. Select decorations you need and move them into the folder. We can also modify the proportion of each decoration here. Now, we can place the specific random decorations easily. Lastly, we can look at the overall terrain and do some optimizations. Now, the maze terrain is completed. Next, let's see how to edit the decoration's attributes. Select the decoration in the game scene. The Edit Object tab will be displayed on the right side of the object palette. We can directly edit and modify the decoration information here, including name, location, rotate, and scale. Decorations have no HP, inventories, or skills, and they do not influence collisions. They only exist to serve as decoration. We have a new term here, collision size. All objects that can interact have a range, which is called the collision size. For example, when two units meet, they cannot pass through each other and will be stuck. This is due to the existence of the collision size. If collision is 0, then the two units can overlap. It should be noted that the collision size has nothing to do with model size in the model selection circle. As decorations do not influence collision, the wall decoration we use is only a visual wall, which can actually be passed through. Therefore, we need to add additional restricted paths. In Terrain Palette, Collisions tab, select Ground Collision and draw the impassable areas. If you draw too much, you can use the Eraser tool to modify. The movement type of the unit will affect the type of collision that we should set. For example, in Object Editor, select a random unit. We can see its movement type under Fixed Attributes. In this example, this unit's movement type is Ground, which means this unit will be blocked by the ground collision we just drew. But if a unit's movement type is Flight Collision, then it will not be affected by ground collision. It will be able to move freely through the wall. If we do not want that to happen, we will need to draw Aerial Collision also. In Collisions tab, we can see 5 different types of collision: Object, Ground, Aerial, Water, and Cliff. They all have different functions. Below the collision, we can see Visual Occlusion. Here you can restrict the field of view for players in your game. The effects of these restrictions depend on the occlusion type selected, as well as the vision type of in-game units. Ground Obstruction. Units designated as having ground view cannot dispel fog from these regions. Aerial Obstruction. Units designated as having aerial view cannot dispel fog from these regions. Grass. Players without shared view are unable to see each other's units when hidden in grass. The exception to this rule is when one player's unit actively deals damage to the other's unit, and we can set whether to share view in player settings. In the maze, we also need a door that can be destroyed as the exit of the maze. Therefore, we need to place a destructible type object. Destructibles are decorations that can be involved in collisions and may be destroyed by certain in-game skills. Destructibles can also drop resources, making them resource collection objects. For example, trees can also be destructibles. In many RPG games, players can attack the trees to gather wood. The amount of wood that can be collected by each tree is limited, and when all are collected, the tree will disappear. Now, let's go back to the game scene and place a destructible door in the maze as the exit. placing Destructibles is the same as the decorations. Now, let's see how to edit the Destructibles attributes. Select the Destructible in the game scene. The Edit Object tab will appear. We can directly edit and modify the information here, including the name, location, rotate, and scale. For further detailed attribute edit, we can click on the Edit object below, and it will jump to the Object Editor window. This door doesn't quite match our maze. We can do some custom editing on it in the Object Editor. Select the door, go to Display, and we can change its model here. Then, we can select a model to replace the original one. In addition, we need to draw the collision for Destructibles. There are two collisions for Destructibles. One is the collision before destruction, and the other is the collision after destruction. Click Collision Edit, select Ground, and you can draw the collision by yourself. Or click Auto Generate Collision, then you can draw in detail and use the eraser below to modify. For the collision after destruction, we can use the default No Collision. Then, in Tab Data, we can edit the attributes of the Destructible door further. Under Fix Attributes, check Can Be Attacked, Ability Target, and Remove on Destruction. Modify the health point of the door to 100. If you're not sure what an attribute means, you can hover the mouse over this attribute to view its detailed introduction. We can also set whether Destructibles can drop resources in the Object Editor. Tick can be gathered. Then this Destructible will become Resource Collection object. We can set the resource type, max resource number, resource refreshed interval, and whether to destroy the Destructible when its resource is depleted. Because the door here does not need to drop resources, so we will not check it here. Back to the main interface, we can see that the door, which we just placed, has been automatically replaced with a new model. We can adjust to place the door in the right position. To test the effect, we also need to place a unit on the map. Here, we select a random unit and place it on the map. Then, select this unit, click Edit Object to jump to the Object Editor. Scroll down to find Abilities, Common Attack, in Target Filter Type, under Fix Attributes. Click to edit, tick the Destructible, and click Apply. The Desert Mate is done now. Let's test the effect together. Now, it's time to review what we learned today. We learned about how to place decorations and Destructibles and how to edit their attributes. In the next video, we'll introduce Object Editor application. See you next time.